Go fuck yourself. That's not an insult. That's the truth you've been running from your whole life. Every time you hide behind excuses, every time you avoid responsibility, every time you look in the mirror and settle for less than your potential, you're lying to yourself. And the truth is brutal, but it's freeing. The truth cuts away the lies you've been feeding on. Let me tell you something. No one is coming to save you. No one is carrying you across the finish line. If you keep running from the truth, you'll keep running in circles. But if you face it head on, you'll finally move forward. So yes, go fuck yourself. The weak version, the lazy version, the excuse-filled version, kill it. Because until you destroy that part of you, you'll never unleash the version that was built to win. The world has been feeding you soft lies your whole life. Lies like take it easy, you deserve a break. Or don't push too hard, life should be comfortable. But here's the reality, soft lies create soft people. They rot your potential like sugar rots your teeth. They sound sweet, but they're poison. Think about it. Every time someone told you it's okay to quit, it got easier to stop trying. Every time someone told you success takes luck, you stopped giving effort. That's how mediocrity spreads. It's passed down in comforting words that rob you of your fight. And here's the question you gotta ask yourself. Are you living on truth or lies? Because the truth will hurt, but it will also heal. Lies will soothe you now, but they'll suffocate you slowly until your fire is gone. Your comfort zone is a coffin. You're safe inside of it. Sure, nobody hurts you there. Nobody challenges you. You can breathe, eat, sleep, and stay hidden from the storms outside. But make no mistake, you are dying inside that coffin every single day. Growth doesn't exist in safety. Progress doesn't happen in comfort. It's like a muscle. If you never push it past its limits, it weakens, it atrophies. Your spirit works the same way. If you never stretch it, it shrinks. Look around you. How many people are alive but not living? They're trapped in routines, trapped in fear, trapped in their coffin of comfort. You need to smash that coffin open and step into the discomfort that scares you. That's where life begins. Outside the walls, outside the safety, outside the comfort. Otherwise, you're not living. You're just waiting to die. Stop waiting. Stop wishing. Stop waning. Those three habits are the death of dreams. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? Tomorrow doesn't exist. How many times have you wished for opportunities? Wishing never built empires. Work did. How many times have you complained about your situation? Complaining never changed a damn thing. Action does. Every second you spend waiting, wishing or whining is another second wasted. Life doesn't pause for you to get ready. Life is happening right now, and the clock is ticking. Do you think champions got there by waiting for permission? Do you think warriors became warriors by wishing it? No, they decided, they acted. They fought for it. And let me be blunt, no one cares about your whining. Nobody feels sorry for you. Get up, get moving. Stop waiting, stop wishing, stop waiting. Start living. Be honest. How long have you been lying to yourself? Telling yourself you'll change next week. Pretending you're giving your best when deep down you know you're not. Hiding behind excuses when you know you're capable of more. How many years have you wasted with those lies? The mirror knows the truth. Your heart knows the truth. You can fool the world, but you can't fool yourself. And the longer you keep lying, the deeper you bury your potential. Ask yourself right now, are you proud of the person you see in the mirror? If the answer is no, then stop lying. Rip the mask off. Face the brutal honesty you've been avoiding. It's the only way forward. Because as long as you keep lying to yourself, you'll never break free. The truth hurts, but the truth heals. Stop lying. Start living. Excuses are parasites. They don't look deadly at first. They sneak in disguised as reasons, as justifications, as little "it's not my fault" moments. But once they get inside, they feed on your potential. Every excuse you make drains a drop of your energy, a slice of your ambition, a piece of your future. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I can't because I'm too tired, too busy, too unlucky? Those words feel harmless in the moment, but they eat at you. Excuses multiply. One excuse becomes a habit, and habits become your identity. Before you know it, you've built a life infected with mediocrity. If you want to live full, if you want to become relentless, you must kill the parasites before they kill you. Excuses don't just steal your time, they steal your destiny. Excuses don't just drain you, they trap you. Every excuse you make is like laying a brick. I don't have time. Brick. I'm not ready. Brick. It's too hard. Brick. One by one, those bricks stack up until you're surrounded by walls you built yourself. And when you look around years later, you realize you're locked in a prison of your own creation. Nobody forced you inside. Nobody chained the door. You did it. Excuse by excuse. Day by day. The sad part, most people never escape. They decorate their prison. They get comfortable behind the walls. But champions take a sledgehammer to every excuse they've ever made. They tear down the walls. They refuse to live caged by their own weakness. So ask yourself, are you building a prison, or are you breaking one down? Let me tell you something. Life doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't pause because you're tired. Rent still comes due. The bills don't care that you didn't feel like it. Life moves with or without you. People love to believe their excuses matter, but they don't. If you're broke, the world doesn't care why. If you're unfit, the world doesn't care how. If you're failing, nobody's handing out sympathy trophies. Reality is cruel like that. But here's the hidden blessing. Since life doesn't care about your excuses, it also doesn't limit your effort. You still have the power to rise, no matter your story, no matter your past. Excuses won't protect you from failure. They only guarantee it. Effort, discipline, and action are the only currency that life respects. You can whine about your circumstances, or you can win in spite of them. Everyone has a story, a rough childhood, a broken relationship, a setback, pain, struggle, loss. But let me be real with you. Your story doesn't make you special. What makes you special is what you do with it. Too many people cling to their story as a shield, as if telling it explains why they never achieved greatness. But the truth, the world doesn't care about your story. It cares about your results. Don't tell me what you've been through. Show me what you built in spite of it. Don't tell me about the opportunities you lost. Show me the doors you kicked down. Look at history. The greatest leaders, the strongest warriors, the most successful people. Every one of them had a story. But they didn't stop there. They turned pain into power and scars into strength. So stop leaning on your story. Start writing your results. It always comes down to a choice. Excuses or execution. You can't have both. If you choose excuses, you choose comfort, stagnation, regret. If you choose execution, you choose growth, struggle, progress. Every morning you wake up with the option: talk yourself out of it, or push yourself into it. Excuses will whisper, stay in bed, you've done enough. Execution will scream, get up, you're not done yet. And here's the thing, you don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your excuses. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, they didn't have fewer obstacles. They just chose execution over excuses, day after day, battle after battle. So decide right now, which path are you gonna walk? The path of excuses, or the path of execution? Because only one leads to freedom. Most people spend their lives running from pain. They treat it like a monster chasing them. But the truth is, pain isn't chasing you, it's shaping you. And the longer you run, the weaker you get. Let me tell you something. The people you admire, the ones you call strong, they're not stronger because life spared them. They're stronger because they stopped running and turned to face pain head on. They embraced it. They welcomed it. That's the difference between those who grow and those who shrink. When you run towards pain, it loses its power to terrify you. When you lean into the storm, you realize the storm was the training ground all along. Stop running. Stop hiding. Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to build you. But only if you stop running and start fighting. Pain is fire, and like fire, it has two choices. It can destroy you, or it can forge you into something unbreakable. If you run from it, if you fear it, pain will burn your dreams to the ground. But if you face it, if you use it, that same fire will melt away your weakness and harden your will. Think of steel. It only becomes strong after it survives the furnace. Diamonds, born from pressure. Every masterpiece is tested by fire. Why would you be any different? The difference isn't the fire, it's how you step into it. Are you gonna be ash, or are you gonna be steel? That's the choice. You don't get to avoid the fire, but you do get to decide how you come out of it. Destroyed or forged, weak or unbreakable. Weakness and comfort go hand in hand. The more comfortable you make your life, the weaker you become. That's the trap society sets for you. Everything built to make life easier, softer, smoother. But here's the reality. Comfort kills strength. You only grow when you struggle. You only get tough when you fight battles. Look at anyone strong, resilient, disciplined. It didn't come from an easy path. It came from hardship, from setbacks, from days where quitting would have been easier, but they pushed anyway. Comfort feels good now, but it steals from your future. Struggle feels painful now, but it builds a future you can be proud of. Weakness lives in comfort. Strength is born in struggle. Don't settle for being soft. Don't settle for being soft. Don't settle for easy. Seek the struggle, because that's where greatness is forged. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you deliberately chose discomfort? Not the kind that happens by accident, not the kind that life throws at you, but the kind you volunteered for. When was the last time you set your alarm earlier than you wanted, pushed for one more rep, ran when you didn't have to, studied when no one asked you to? The truth is, most people never do. They only face discomfort when it smacks them in the face, and even then they crumble. But warriors seek it out. They choose it daily, because they know every act of chosen discomfort is a deposit into their strength account. So if you can't remember the last time you picked discomfort, you've already started slipping. Choose it today. Choose it tomorrow. Keep choosing it until discomfort feels like home. Here's the truth you can't escape. Pain is the price, and you're gonna pay it one way or another. If you avoid hard work, you'll pay with regret later. If you skip discipline, you'll pay with weakness later. If you run from the struggle, you'll pay with a life half lived. There is no path without pain. The only choice you have is whether that pain is invested or wasted. Champions invest their pain. They use it now so they can reap rewards later. Quitters waste their pain. They run from it and end up suffering more in the long run. Think about it. Which hurts more, an hour in the gym or years of hating your reflection? Which hurts more, staying disciplined with your goals or living with regret that you never tried? Pain is the price. Pay it wisely. The mirror is where the real battle begins. Not the gym, not the boardroom, not the classroom. Right there in front of your own reflection is where you decide who you are. Because when it's just you and that reflection, there are no filters, no applause, no excuses. It's the one place you can't run from the truth. Champions don't avoid the mirror, they confront it. Every morning they look at themselves and ask, am I doing what it takes? Am I becoming who I said I'd be? The mirror is the battlefield, and every day is a fight between who you are and who you're supposed to be. You can hide from people, you can hide from responsibilities, but you can't hide from that reflection. That's where the battle starts. And if you don't win there, you won't win anywhere. Most people are terrified of their own reflection. They don't want to look too closely, because they know they'll see weakness staring back. They'll see the weight they haven't lost, the effort they haven't given, the lies they've been telling themselves. So they avoid the mirror. They distract themselves with screens, with noise, with anything that keeps them from facing reality. But let me tell you something. Until you face that reflection, nothing changes. You can't fix what you won't admit is broken. That's why the mirror is powerful. It exposes the truth, and that truth is exactly what most people run from. But winners don't hide. They stand tall in front of the mirror. Even when it hurts, they take the pain of honesty and use it as fuel. If you can't face your reflection, you'll never face life. When you look in the mirror, you see one of two things: potential or excuses. The same reflection, but two completely different realities. Some people look at themselves and see all the reasons why they can't. I'm too old, too young, too tired, too unlucky. Excuses stack like a wall between them and their goals. Others look at the same reflection and see potential. They see what could be. They see strength waiting to be unleashed. It's not the mirror that decides, it's your mindset. Which do you see? Because one will keep you chained, and the other will set you free. Look at history. Edison failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. They didn't look in the mirror and see excuses. They saw potential, and they refused to waste it. The mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your excuses. It reflects exactly what you've put in, or what you haven't. You can fool your friends with excuses. You can fool your family with half-truths, but you cannot fool that reflection. It will always show the reality of your effort, your discipline, your choices, and that's why most people avoid it. It's brutally honest, but honesty is what you need, because only when you admit where you are can you begin to change. The mirror is ruthless, but it's fair. It shows you what you've earned. If you've been slacking, it shows laziness. If you've been grinding, it shows progress. The mirror doesn't lie. The mirror doesn't care. And that's exactly why it should be your most trusted coach. Don't just look in the mirror. Talk to yourself in it. Tell yourself who you are becoming, not who you used to be. Speak the truth until your actions match your words. Say, I am disciplined. I am relentless. I am unstoppable. At first it feels strange. At first you won't believe yourself. But repetition rewires belief. Just like lifting weights builds muscle, speaking truth builds identity. People think self-talk is silly, but the greatest warriors in history knew the power of words. Muhammad Ali didn't just fight, he told the world, I am the greatest, until he believed it. David Goggins looked in the mirror and called himself out until he became unbreakable. You can do the same. The mirror is your arena. Don't just stare at it, command it. Talk to yourself until you believe yourself, and then go prove it true. Your life is nothing more than a reflection of the standards you tolerate. If you accept laziness, don't be surprised when your life looks lazy. If you accept average effort, don't complain when you get average results. Life mirrors what you demand of yourself. Look at the champions. Their lives are built on relentless standards. They don't tolerate mediocrity. They don't accept excuses. They set the bar high and refuse to lower it. Meanwhile, most people set their standards at rock bottom and wonder why they feel unfulfilled. Standards are invisible rules you write for yourself, and they decide everything: your health, your finances, your relationships, your future. If your life isn't where you want it to be, it's not bad luck. It's the standard you've been accepting. Raise the standard and watch your life rise with it. Let me be brutally honest. If you're weak, broke, or lost, that's the standard you've allowed. It might hurt to hear it, but the truth always hurts before it heals. If you've accepted weakness, then weakness has become your identity. If you've accepted being broke, then you've settled for scraps when you should be building. If you've accepted being lost, then you've chosen confusion over clarity. You might say, but life dealt me a bad hand. Maybe it did, but I've seen people start with nothing, with worse odds, and still rise. Why? Because they refused to accept those conditions as permanent. They raised their standards. They demanded more of themselves. And guess what? Life rose to meet them. If you don't like where you are, stop lowering the bar to meet your circumstances. Lift the bar and force yourself to meet it. The moment you raise your standards, your life changes. It doesn't wait for years. It shifts instantly, because your mindset shifts instantly. When you say, I will no longer accept weakness, you force yourself to build strength. When you say, I will no longer live paycheck to paycheck, you find new ways to earn, save, and grow. When you say, I will not settle for toxic relationships, you walk away from the poison and create room for better. Raising your standards is like raising the floor beneath you. Suddenly you can't sink as low as before. And the higher you raise it, the higher you rise. Look at professional athletes. They train like maniacs, not because they love pain, but because their standard demands it. Champions live by higher rules than everyone else. If you want a higher life, stop living by low rules. Raise the standard. Your standards are like thermostat. They regulate the temperature of your life. If your thermostat is set to average, then no matter how much success you touch, you'll fall back down to average. If it's set to greatness, then even when you fail, you'll rise back up toward greatness. Think about lottery winners. Most lose everything within a few years. Why? Because their money outgrew their standards. Their thermostat was set too low. On the flip side, think of someone who starts with nothing but builds everything. Even if they lose it all, they rebuild. Why? Because their thermostat is set high, and life always rises to meet it. The question is, where is your thermostat? Set mediocrity, comfort, or greatness. Don't expect a 5-star life when your standards are set at 1 star. Crank it up, set it higher, then live there. The most dangerous word in the world is enough, because the moment you say I've done enough, you stop growing. Enough is the language of comfort. Enough is the reason people quit halfway. Enough is why potential gets buried. You need to redefine what enough means for you. For most, enough is survival. For champions, enough is domination. For most, enough is getting by. For warriors, enough is pushing until there is nothing left. And here's the truth. You always have more in you. More strength, more grit, more potential. The only reason you don't see it is because you've convinced yourself you've done enough. Stop cutting yourself short. Stop letting enough be the ceiling. Demand more, expect more, take more from yourself than you think you have, because your real limits are far beyond the fake enough. You've been living with your mind as the sharpest weapon you'll ever own, or the deadliest executioner, waiting to cut you down. Every battle you fight starts in your head before it ever reaches the world. If your mind is strong, you can endure storms that break everyone else. But if your mind is weak, even the smallest challenge will bury you. That's why so many people quit before they even start. They lose the war in their head. Let me tell you something. Discipline, resilience, and courage are not about muscles, money, or luck. They're about mastering your mind. Train it to fight for you, and it becomes unstoppable. Neglect it, and it turns on you. Every thought is either sharpening your blade or dulling it. Every day you're deciding, will your mind be your weapon, or will it be your executioner? Choose wisely. Your mind is like a wild horse, powerful, untamed, restless. If you train it, it will carry you farther than you ever imagined. If you neglect it, it will drag you through the mud, tearing your life apart. Think about it. How many people live controlled by fear, doubt, laziness? That's a wild horse dragging them. They're not steering their thoughts are steering them. But when you take the reins, when you discipline your mind through focus, repetition, and grit, it becomes your greatest ally. Every champion in history mastered this truth. They weren't born with superhuman talent. They trained their mind until it obeyed. The choice is simple. Do you want to ride your mind toward greatness, or let it drag you into mediocrity? A wild horse is dangerous, but a trained horse can carry you anywhere. Ask yourself this: if your mind were a soldier, would it surrender at the first sign of battle, or would it fight to the last breath? For most people, their mind folds under pressure. The alarm rings, they surrender. The workout gets tough, they surrender. Life hits them hard, they wave the white flag, and then they wonder why their life feels like a losing war. But warriors train their mind like a soldier. They drill it, discipline it, prepare it for war. When pain hits, their mind says, stand tall. When fear whispers, their mind says, move forward. When doubt rises, their mind says, fight harder. That's what separates the strong from the weak. Not genetics, not luck, mental toughness. If your mind is a soldier, it should be the kind that never surrenders, the kind that fights until victory is won. A weak mind guarantees a broken life. You can have all the opportunities in the world, but if your mind is fragile, you'll crumble every time pressure shows up. That's why people quit relationships, quit businesses, quit dreams. They never strengthen the one thing that matters most. On the other hand, a strong mind turns you into an unshakable force. Storms come, but you don't break. Failures happen, but you rise again. A strong mind is why people with less talent, less money, less support still wins. Because nothing outside can defeat someone who refuses to be defeated inside. Look at history. Every great leader, every fighter, every revolutionary had a mind that wouldn't bend. The difference between broken and unbreakable isn't what life throws at you. It's how strong your mind is when it hits. Weak mind equals broken life. Strong mind equals power. At the end of the day, everything comes down to this: control your mind, control your life, your habits, your health, your success, your future. They all start with the conversations happening in your head. If you let your mind wander aimlessly, your life will do the same. If you let your mind focus on fear, your life will be ruled by fear. But if you train your mind to focus on growth, discipline, and victory, that's the life you'll build. The world tries to control you through distractions, through comfort, through lies. But the real power is yours. Control your thoughts, and you control your actions. Control your actions, and you control your destiny. Most people live as prisoners of their own minds. Don't be one of them. Take the reins. Master your mind, because the one who controls the mind controls the life. Every scar, every callus, every mark on your body or soul is proof that you've been through something and survived it. People think callous are ugly, but they're beautiful. They are evidence of your battles. They say, I didn't quit, I endured. A callus doesn't form after one try. It forms after repeated pressure, after refusing to give up. Life will hit you again and again until you either break or harden. Calluses are the armor that keeps you from breaking. Every challenge you've survived has left a mark, and those marks are not weakness. They're strength. They're the reason you can take another hit and keep moving. Don't hide your callus. Don't wish him away. They're proof that you're a fighter, proof that you've endured, proof that you're still standing when others would have fallen. Your hands callous from work, but your soul calluses from struggle. Every late night, every rejection, every failure, every time you get knocked down, it leaves a mark. And if you keep pushing, those marks turn into armor. That's why people with easy lives often collapse when pressure shows up. Their souls are soft, but those who've endured
struggle after struggle, setback after setback. They build something unbreakable inside. Look at anyone you admire. Their soul is calloused. Nelson Mandela didn't survive prison with a soft spirit. Helen Keller didn't inspire millions with a fragile soul. They endured crushing struggles and emerged stronger. You can too. Every hardship you face is a chance to toughen your soul. Don't run from struggle. Don't resent it. Let it shape you. Because the more calloused your soul becomes, the less life can hurt you, and the more it can't stop you. Life is going to beat you. That's guaranteed, but every beating carries a choice. Break or build. Most people break. They take the hit, and they stay down. They tell themselves, this is too much, I can't handle it. And so the beating becomes their story of defeat. But the warriors, they take the same beating and use it to build themselves stronger. They see pain as a training partner, not an enemy. Every hit is a chance to reinforce their resilience. Think of a boxer. Every punch they take in training prepares them for the fight. Life works the same way. The hits you take are preparing you for the battles ahead, but only if you choose to use them. Every beating is an opportunity. Break or build, weakness or strength. Which one you choose decides who you become. There are two kinds of people: fragile quitters and unbreakable warriors. Fragile quitters fall apart the moment things get hard. They avoid pain. They avoid struggle. They avoid anything that threatens their comfort. And because of that, they stay weak. They never grow. They never rise. They live soft lives with soft results. Unbreakable warriors are different. They step into pain. They embrace struggle. They endure hardship again and again until nothing can shatter them. When others quit, they keep going. When others cry, they keep fighting. And when life tests them, they don't fold, they rise. That's why warriors succeed. Where fragile quitters failed, not because they were born stronger, but because they chose to endure. You have that same choice, quitter or warrior, fragile or unbreakable. Which one are you building with your decisions today? Stop chasing motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings fade. What you need is scars. Scars are permanent. Scars remind you of the battles you've survived. Motivation might get you started, but scars keep you moving when everything inside you screams to quit. Think about it. Motivation doesn't get you through heartbreak, failure, bankruptcy, or rejection. Scars do, because every scar whispers, you've been here before. You survived this. You can survive again. That's why the strongest people you know aren't the most motivated. They're the most scarred. They've been tested, burned, beaten, and still came back stronger. Stop wishing for motivation. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for a perfect moment. Let your scars be your drive. Let them remind you who you are and what you've endured. You don't need motivation. You need scars. And the more scars you collect, the less anything can stop you. From the very beginning, I told you to go fox or prick scratch yourself, and now you understand why. It wasn't about disrespect. It wasn't about anger. It was about truth. Because the version of you that hides behind lies, excuses, and comfort deserves to be destroyed. That version is killing your potential. That version is burying your future. You needed to hear it raw, because sugarcoating the truth won't save you. Comforting words won't push you to change. Sometimes you have to get slapped with reality, so hard that you finally wake up.
That's what this message was all about. You needed to hear the truth, stripped bare, with no apologies. And if you felt that sting, good. It means it hit the right place. It means you're ready to rise. Here's the truth. You are the problem. Your excuses, your laziness, your standards, your weak mind. Every obstacle between you and the life you want begins with you. That's the hard part. But here's the powerful part. You are also the solution. The moment you accept that, you take back control. If you are the problem, then you hold the key to fixing it. That means you don't need permission. You don't need luck. You don't need someone else to save you. Everything you need is already inside you. The problem and the solution live in the same place. Your decisions own that truth, and suddenly life becomes simple. Hard, yes, but simple. Stop pointing fingers outward. Start pointing the finger inward. Because once you realize you are both the problem and the solution, nothing can stop you from changing everything. No one is coming to save you. Read that again. Let it sink in. Too many people live waiting for someone else to fix their life. A mentor, a coach, a friend, a partner, the government, God Himself. But no one is coming. Not because people don't care, but because they can't do it for you. They can guide you, they can inspire you, but they can't run your miles. They can't lift your weights. They can't fight your battles. That's on you. And if you keep waiting, your life will keep passing you by. The cavalry isn't coming. There is no rescue mission. The only person capable of saving you is staring back at you in the mirror. Once you accept that, you stop waiting and start working. And that's the moment you begin to take control of your life. Inside you, there are two versions, the weak one and the warrior. The weak one loves excuses, loves comfort, loves to quit. The warrior lives for discipline, thrives in pain, and fights no matter what. Every day you feed one and starve the other. Every day you choose which one survives. If you want to change your life, you must kill the weak version. You must starve it, you must silence it, and you must feed the warrior until it takes over. That's what growth really is. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about destroying the old version, holding you back. Kill the weakness, kill the excuses, kill the comfort, and when all that's left is the warrior, you'll finally understand what you were capable of all along. You're not here to be soft. You're here to be unstoppable. At the end of your life, your legacy won't be built on what you wished for. It won't be built on what you planned, but never acted on. It will be built on what you did, on what you fought for, on what you refused to quit. Your legacy will be either one of excuses or one of execution, one of weakness or one of strength, one of comfort or one of relentlessness. The choice is yours. Do you want to be remembered as someone who lived safe, soft, and forgettable, or someone who lived relentless, ruthless, unstoppable? The kind of person whose scars tell a story of battles fought and victories earned. You're writing that legacy right now, with every decision, every action, every standard you accept. So don't settle, don't stop. Build a legacy that echoes. Build a legacy of relentless pursuit.